I'll be teaching you how I film my videos. Let me come closer to the camera so you can see how clean my videos actually are. You see? You see? You see? You see? Just to answer your first question, I film with a phone. This is the phone I use for recording. I do not film with a camera at the moment. I used to own a camera. I know nobody asked me, but I miss my baby. I used to own a camera and I sold it because I was relocating. So I was like, oh, by the time I go to a new country, I'm going to buy a new one. I haven't gotten a new one yet. This particular phone I'm filming on is an iPhone 13 Pro. Memory is 512 gig just because as a content creator you need enough space. This space is not even enough for me. I need to get a 1 TB very soon. Before you try to say, oh, I don't use that phone, I use an 11 or I use an X, you can get this quality on any phone. Okay, not any phone, but at least a good phone. If you're using an 11X, even an iPhone 7, you can still get high quality videos on those phones. The first step is to go to settings, go to camera settings and change your camera settings to 4K at 24 fps. If you want to film a video and you know that you're going to slow down your clips later on, what you want to do is film at 4K 60 fps. Also change this to most compatible. You can also leave this at high efficiency. To be honest, I don't know the difference between those two. Now the next thing you want to do, if you have this option, is to turn off Apple RAW. I know it sounds like a good idea to you, but what would happen is that you would be consuming so much space that you would not have where to record your content on. The next thing you want to do is to turn off HDR. Turn on profile grid. If you need help trying to find out, oh, where's the middle, where do I put my head and all of that, you can leave this grid on. Now the next thing you want to do is ensure that you clean your camera lens before you film. Honestly, sometimes your camera quality is not low, your lens is just dirty. Sometimes your lens is smudged with your moisturizer or sweat or the food you ate. There's just so many things on your lens. It is better you clean your lens whenever you want to film, okay? Ensure that you're filming with your back camera instead of your front camera. This is what I look like with my front camera, and this is why I always advise people to use the back camera. I mean, this is okay, this is like manageable, this is something you can deal with, but the quality of the back camera is always better than the quality of the front camera. Now that we're done with the basic things, let's get into what actually makes the difference in your videos. The main thing that would make the difference in your video is lighting. It's currently either 12 a.m. or past 12 a.m. I apologize to my neighbors for making noise right now. The video is this bright because I have enough lights here, which I will in fact be showing you. First of all, let me turn off my lights and you see what my video is like without the lights. This is what I look like with just my backlight. I will not be turning that one off because it was quite hard for me to get it in place. The socket is shaking, so if I turn that off, it might not work. Now this is what my video would look like if I were to be filming with just that one light. Just turned off 2 other lights, by the way. Let me show you something else. Now this is what my video would be looking like if I were to film with my backlight and my room lights. You might say, oh, this is decent. Well, I'm looking at my screen. No. I mean, this might be good enough for someone out there, but just no. This is not it for me. I usually turn off my lights to film, but let's leave it on and see what will happen. Now I'm going to turn on my key light. I'm sorry, this is quite distracting. Okay, so I have this key light in front of me, which I will be showing you. I have this other light. I'll show you this light to get this color. This one is just facing here. I just have this pants and this is the second light. I also have this panel light, but I'm not using it at the moment. It happens to be a personal preference, but I love to have the colored lights in my videos. If you go through my Instagram, you would actually see that I am consistent with the colors. I love the colored background a whole lot. Just like I said earlier, lighting is key, and there's so many options for lighting your video. You have LED panels, you have COB lights. There's so many options for lighting your videos. The major thing is your budget. I don't know the demographic of my audience at the moment, so I don't know what currency to use, but I think we should use dollars. There are lights that are within $50 to about $200 for most good lights in the US, between $180 to $200. But then there are actually lights that are like 400, 500, and this is when you're talking about COB lights. Now you can either get a COB light or get a panel light. But I'll tell you one thing, a lot of the panel lights actually give hash lights, and when you get this hash lights, you have to start looking for ways to diffuse the light, and this might just be a lot of work for you. So what you want to do is actually, I recommend going for the COB lights. Honestly, that is what I recommend. Now if you do not have the budget for that at the moment, what you can do is just film on a bright sunny day. This you would know that you are at the mercy of the sun, because if it starts raining or something happens and the weather, it just gets gloomy, you might not be able to film your videos. And you have to ensure that your room is a room that has a big window. So if you're not getting enough light in your room, you might have issues. The flexibility of filming. I am filming at midnight. If I were to be using sunlight, obviously there is no sunlight at 12 a.m. If I'm filming in winter, there's so many days where you don't get to see the sunlight. So actually getting a light, saving up for it, making a budget for it, just planning towards it is a good decision to make. And the next thing after you've gotten the key lights is the background lights. If you like the little, like the extra thing that the lights in the background gives, you want to invest in the colored lights. If you don't necessarily want colors, you can also invest in like a warm tone light, something like that just adds something to your background. Your key light alone would give something, but it would just not give everything. You need a tripod stand. Where are you going to put your phone? Either go for a very sturdy one, which I advise, so your phone does not fall and break, because your mobile phone is a huge investment. If it falls, that's not good. I just want you to know that as long as your phone can record a video, you can create a good video with it. So just start with what you have. The next thing is actually your audio. You can have a video, and if the audio is bad, it's bad. There are mics that I recommend. You can start with something within your budget. For example, this magnetic mic. I love magnetic mics, but this one is cheaper than the most popular one at the moment. If you feel like your budget is not up to, I think that one is about $250 or $200. If your budget is not up to that, what you can do is get a cheaper one. For example, this is the ZWide magnetic mic. If you want to increase your budget a bit, you want to go for a Ulanzi mic, Ulanzi A100 or a Ulanzi AM18. Both mics are good. One is just bigger than the other, and I think the mic quality of the AM18 is actually better. Also, you can go for either a DJI mic or Rode mic or these mics. It all depends on your budget. Honestly, how much can you afford at the moment? One of the tips I always give is, if you want to film, even if you're filming in the daytime and you know that you're already relying on artificial lights, what you want to do is close your windows, let the room be dark, and then start turning on the lights one after the other. With this, you can see the effects of each light. Ensure that the key light is in front of you. If you're using just one light, have it in front of you. If it's in front of you, you can increase the height and just tilt it down a little bit. As long as the light is soft and diffused, you're not going to have problems. So if you're using 3 light sources, the light in front of you, the one at the back, or I'm using 2 at the back, the 2 at the back. Even if I turn off the small one, honestly, okay, I'll just face it down right now. There's a little difference, but the difference is not huge. So even if you have these 2 lights, you're good to go, right? So this is honestly how I film my videos. To learn more, if you want to get more ideas, you can just grab my online courses. I think it's like $10 or something. It's very affordable. We've had over 300 people. I think 300 is like reducing the numbers. We've had almost 500 people go through this, positive reviews. They love it. It's easy to understand. I just want you to know that it is possible to create high quality content with your phone. You don't have to get a camera yet. I'm not going to be one of those people that will tell you, oh, you don't need a camera and whatnot. You might need a camera. I need a camera. I want one. But this doesn't stop you from creating high quality content with your phone. So you can always get started with your phone. So with these few tips, I hope that you can create better videos, and I look forward to seeing your good videos. If these tips help you, you can tag me to see your videos. Honestly, I'm always so proud when people are like, oh, I implemented this and this is the quality I got. It makes me happy. Also, I like when people ask me, how did you get your videos to look like this? It makes me happy. If this was helpful for you and you've applied it and you love it, let me see it. I mean, I'm not forcing you, I'm just saying. Sometimes people ask me, oh, what do you do in post? Is it most of the time it is not really in post. In post, what I just do is smoothen my face and maybe increase contrast or reduce or whatever. But even when I don't touch my videos, most of the times I don't touch my videos and it just comes the way it is. Maybe you can carry out some magic in editing, but I personally do not have that time. I put all my energy into the way the video is filmed, so by the time I edit and I'm posting, it's just like it's not too much to do. You can leave a like, leave a comment, leave a question, and do subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content coming your way. I actually have 2 online courses on how to create high quality videos, and on my Instagram I've shared lots and lots and lots of tips, and there's so many people that are searching for this, so